didn't want to be part of this narrative with, carbon, like a high carbon footprint, etc. And so they said, we actually recommend DLT and we feature R3, which R3 is the company behind R3 Corda, R3 Conclave, and it's the token XDC that I think most people who are listening to this call have heard of before, right? So they say we're featuring R3, Ripple, and IBM Hyperledger. And the reason why that's really important is because I think, again, everyone knows Ripple is XRP, but what is IBM Hyperledger? Now, if you guys have been following QSI, then I've had tons of posts about Hyperledger. IBM actually signed a contract with Stellar back in 2017. And that was probably one of the most significant contracts signed in technology or business partnerships ever. And it probably will be for the next many decades to come. And so one of the big things about IBM Hyperledger is, I'm going to skip down to conclusion model 3. It says the public blockchain systems where an organization takes on the responsibility and liability for running the system. Guys, that's the WorldWire portion of IBM. If you're not familiar with WorldWire, is actually the quantum computer that's located in Arizona. And don't forget, Arizona is the home for, Kraken Battalion 305, Kraken Battalion, the 111, that's General Flynn's military intelligence battalion. And so that's the hub of the quantum computers. And this IBM WorldWire will be the central version where all the other quantum computers around the world actually are reporting to. So this is the quantum computer of Earth. And so that's what that's referring to in that sentence right there. And then on the bottom, it says it can also grant permissions to those who need it and keep out those who don't. So again, guys, we're talking about governance right now, which is really important because in the future, in the quantum future, when you distinguish who criminals are, who criminals are not, what is legal, what is not legal or lawful rather, then you want to make sure that criminals do not have access to anything, and that's why this comes into play very very interestingly. So on the bottom, in these bullet points here, it says Stellar was actually the chosen blockchain to mint all of what they call the financial market infrastructure. And so these assets are like SWIFT, Fedwire, SPFS, SFMS, CHIPS, TRAPS, EBA, etc. Now I can confirm when I first put this slideshow together, it was just SWIFT, SPFS, SFMS, and EBA had come into Stellar. But in the last couple of weeks, I can actually confirm that CHIPS and TRAPS have joined as well, which gets interesting. But that also ties into Fedwire because Fedwire is the FMI for all the the Federal Reserve banks around. And so at the end of the day, this is proof that Stellar is the only blockchain where the World Bank and other large organizations have actually minted assets. So very, very key distinction to know. Okay, if we move on to the second one, or sorry, the third slide.
Emily, can I
Yeah,
interrupt you a second? I
sure.
think because there may be people on this call that don't know what a CBDC is. And
Mhm.
for those people that don't know, it's a central bank digital currency. So I just wanted to clarify that. Some people may not know those acronyms.